Okay, we're here with Pete Leyden of the New Politics Institute. Pete, tell us what the New Politics Institute is, first off.
Hey, the New Politics Institute is a think tank on politics that's helping progressives understand the changes in tech, media, and demographics and how that impacts politics, and also how to re-strategize around that. And so this is all about what we're about right here.
Okay, so you're kind of a tech politics expert. Tell us what's the kind of big picture here? What do you think is going on? What is your sense of the event so far?
Well, it's really interesting. I was at the original one, which was in Las Vegas, a lot funkier last year. There was only one presidential candidate at the time who's since dropped out. You know, sporadic kind of few officials which had some vision. The media was there and curious, but basically it didn't have anywhere near the kind of explosion of kind of interest that you've got from all the mainstream politicians, all the big mainstream media. Basically everyone's converging this thing. Plus, basically the numbers have just gone through the roof. They had to knock off the registration for a while. So what you're seeing here is essentially some quantum leap since last time. Even though last time was big, this is a lot bigger. I think it's not for no, you know, it's for good reason, because we're basically hitting this kind of critical inflection point in this new politics, as we describe it, which is you've got the media. The new media has matured to a point that it is ready for prime time. We've watched with the CNN, YouTube debates how you now kind of a coming of age of new media. It's alongside the old media, and it's actually working in hand in very new ways. This is representative of this. This is the new media crowd. This is the new Netroots crowd. This is the blog crew. And it is now kind of at a place where it is now integrated into the core of American politics. And it is, in fact, driving a lot of the biggest changes in American politics. So it is a core new constituency. And it isn't just consumers of politics. This is actors in politics. And they are the actors that get the new tools, the actors that get this new media. And so anybody in politics has to start to orient themselves to this crew, not just for kind of convincing them to kind of support them and be a part of them, but basically they want to actually leverage them for what they can do. These are people that know how to do this stuff. And so it's been an interesting half celebration of like the newfound kind of status, but also half a real kind of serious kind of gathering. People saying, rolling up their sleeves and saying, gosh, now we got this opportunity here, now we're going to really make it work.
So what about the fact that you're saying that a lot of the kind of old political actors are kind of coming to realize the power that's here? You know, that's such an interesting thing that I've been asking people about DC kind of moving to Chicago for the weekend. And what's that relationship like so far as you've seen?
Well, what's interesting is our institute, the New Politics Institute, literally is spanning the groups between, like, we have 1 foot in the Netroots and kind of street cred with the blogger, bottom up kind of Netroots.
Some of those guys are on your board and stuff.
Yeah, one of our founding fellows is Zach Coast, who basically the namesake of the whole thing, was one of the founding fellows of the New Politics Institute, and a lot of Joe Trippi, a bunch of those actually were part of our beginnings, which was about two and a half years ago. At the same time, we've got real credibility on the Hill. We spent a lot of time on the House of Reps and the Senate, and, you know, the mainstream establishment folks. What's interesting was when we first started out, it was kind of crying a little bit in the wilderness, trying to say, hey, these changes are coming, the big changes are coming, and politics will begin. The thing is, now what's happened is that you don't have to do that anymore. The last election cycle, 2006, made it clear to everyone the power of these things that arrived. It's ready to go, and in fact, if anything, going to be more and more important over the next cycle or two. So they've got their attention. So now this is the first kind of coast in the post-2006 election mentality, which is, oh, this isn't just some sidelight. Oh, this is central to the way we're going to have to do politics going forward. So you've got not just the establishment politicians, but media consultants, media people, all kinds of folks who are coming here because they understand that this isn't just some flash in the pan or it's kind of sidelight. This is really core of what reworking what politics is about, is going to be rooted in these new things. Now, it doesn't mean the old media totally goes away. It doesn't mean the old skills of understanding TV and various stuff kind of evaporate. At the same time, we've crossed the threshold into a new space in which this new politics, this new media, new technologies, these new demographics, these new constituencies, this new Netroots is now integrated into the core of what doing politics is at, and in fact will be leading the charge in what we're going to expect the next 2, 4, 6, 8 years.
So where can everyone read all of your research and your writing and watch the videos where you talk about this more?
Well, we actually here at the conference we've done a couple things. I did a big thing on the impact of web video on through 2008 and beyond. Also, we're doing this big signature piece we do, which ties all the dots together. Simon Rosenberg and myself. He's the founder of MPI. So we got a deal there. There might be some video of that. But basically, if you go to the New Politics site, the newpolitics.net, www.newpolitics.net, or just Google Leyden, Pete Leyden, or Google New Politics. Get to it. We have a ton of reports, a ton of video, all our events, all our things. And in fact, you can see some of the talks that we've been talking about here.
There you have it. Pete Leyden, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks.